This is my 2014 Lexus IS250, and in today's video we're going to be doing rear brake pads here. Things you'll need to do this job then are firstly a set of replacement brake pads. I've bought mine from Toyota themselves. Next you'll need a 14mm socket on a wrench. Then you'll also need a 14mm spanner. In order to push the piston back you'll need a clamp, or alternatively a screwdriver. Whilst we're in there we'll do a bit of cleaning, so some brake cleaner. And we'll also be tidying up some rust, so a wire brush. We also need some anti-seize. And finally we'll need a torque wrench. First step in this job then is to get the car up in the air and get this wheel off. Car's now jacked up, axle stand under there for safety, wheel comes off. With the wheel off and the torch lighting up our working space, we can see here our caliper bolt, which runs into a slider which runs into this bit of the brake system here. There's one at the top and there's one down here. These are the 14mm that you need your wrench and your socket for, and then our 14mm spanner goes on this one here, like this. So I'll do that. Here we go, that's gone. And then just holding it with your spanner, you can then just undo it, that one with your fingers. And there's our bolt. Do the next one below. Should be a bit easier, a bit more access. There we go. And once they're loose, once they're undone a bit, you can do that with your fingers. And there it is, that's our second bolt. Once those bolts are out, then it's just a case of moving your caliper like that. Comes away really nicely. Because I'm not doing discs, I'm not going to mount these up with bungees, but that is best practice. You'd hold this in place securely, but I'm just going to leave it resting there for now. Next step then is just to remove our pads. So if you just get your fingers in behind there, you can pull them out with your fingers. If they're seized in, that's where you might need your screwdriver. As we can see, my recent MOT, they said these brake pads are a bit low. There's still a bit of life left in them, but it's probably right to be changing them. Same on the back, just get your fingers in there at the back and just sort of wiggle. And out they come. Again, quite thin. Also note there's a kind of fitting clip or anti-squeal clip type thing up here, but bizarrely there isn't one at the bottom. I've seen other videos where people have got clips all round. For some reason mine have only got clips at the top on this side and it was on the bottom on the other side. Before I move on to fitting the new pads, I'm just going to give everything a little bit of a clean up using my wire brush. I'm just going to, there's not a lot of rust here, this car's not too bad, I've had worse. But just clean things up. And then the caliper itself does look a bit sad in here. So just get rid of all this brake dust muck. Next thing to do then is we've got to push in this piston here on the caliper. Because the new brake pads are quite a lot thicker than the old ones that have come out, the piston has extended as part of normal operation. And in order to fit these now thicker pads in and get this over, this has to get squeezed back. For this I use a simple woodworker's clamp. There's all sorts of tools out on the market, but this one works for me and it doesn't need a lot of pressure. Now the next thing to note is this job is made much easier if you remove the lid off your fluid reservoir in your engine bay. And then just very gently I'm just tightening this. And that piston is winding back in. I know I've got plenty of space in my reservoir and there's not much fluid getting pushed back into it anyway. And the objective is just to get it sort of flush enough that it goes back in. That is nice. And then with the piston pushed back in, we're now ready to prep the pads. For prepping the pads then, the first thing we have to do is to remove the shims that we've got, the anti-squeal shims that we've got on the original pads that I'm removing. These aren't genuine Toyota pads. They're made by a company called APEC, I think. But there we go, we've got a sort of metal outer shim and an inner anti-squeal type shim. So firstly, need to clean those up and fit them to the new pads. I was surprised, given I'd bought genuine Toyota pads, that they don't come with either those shims or any of the clips. They're literally just the brake pads. Seems a surprise. Next thing as well to do then is, because I don't have replacement clips, I'm going to reuse these clips. I just need to lever these off. It might be that where you're buying your pads from, you get replacement clips, but I've got to get these off. Just like that. And the same for the other one as well. There we go, like that. So something worth noting just before we prep the pads is that these pads are directional. So we have a chamfered edge at the top here, and we've got a square edge here. That chamfered edge needs to go in the face into the direction of the rotation of the disc. So that chamfered edge needs to go at the top on this outer one, and obviously corresponding on the other side. For pad prep then, I've already installed this little clip here. As I mentioned, I don't have a full set, so I'm going for the bottom, which corresponds opposite to the chamfered edge just mentioned. And then it's a case of installing the shims. So we've got this sort of slightly flexible rubbery one, and then the aluminium, I assume, or stainless steel maybe one that's going on there. It's a tiny bit loose, so I'm just going to tighten up these pins a bit, or these tabs. There we go, that's better, doesn't fall off. And then just a little bit of grease, multi-purpose copper grease in this case, just on the tops. Everyone's got a different opinion about where to put grease on brake pads. It was very interesting to see people slather it on. I always just put it on the tops here, and obviously keep it away from the face of the material. Right, that one done. Let's get on, do the other one, and then we'll get them installed. One other thing before putting the brake pads back is just need to check your slider pins. Now, best practice would be to pull these out and lube them up and make sure they're right, but actually mine in particular feel perfectly nice and smooth and sliding. I've had cars where those have got stuck, and then you get all sorts of nonsense, lots of brake squeal and so on. So if yours don't move smoothly, do just slide them out, grease them up. You need silicone grease specifically for these, but mine are fine. So with the pads then ready, it's then just a case of having greased them and fitting the clips. It's then just a case of slotting them in. The reason I put the clip at the bottom is just to make my life a bit easier. Just make sure the tab on that clip is sliding in nicely, which mine isn't. Just pop a little screwdriver under there, there we go. There we go. And that's that pad in, and then it's just a case of putting the other pad in on the rear. Again, paying attention to where your chamfered edge is and where your clips and pins are and so on. So once you've got it lined up, you can then just squeeze it in, check they're okay, and they're moving nice and freely, they're not binding or anything. That's good. And then it's just a case of getting your caliper, getting it lined up, and because we push that piston back, we should be able to slide this in nice and easily. Okay, just put my sliders in. And then getting back with our bolts that take the 14mm. Now again, I'm surprised that with the brake pads from Toyota, they didn't provide new ones of these bolts. I would have thought that would have happened. But for now, I'm going to just reuse them. Once those bolts are in and they're sort of tight-ish, and then it's a case of tightening them up using your torque wrench. It's been hard to find the figure for this, but I found two sources that said it's 35 Newton meters. That's one, and that's two. One thing I always like to do after doing brakes, but before doing anything else, is just give the pedal a little push, just to kind of make sure the pistons are touching the pads correctly. And then also in this case, where I've removed the lid off the top of the fluid reservoir, I'm just going to reinstall that as well. Final step in the process is just then to mount your wheel, lower your car off the jacks and torque everything up to spec. Torque spec for these bolts is 76 foot-pounds, 103 to 105 Newton meters. So with that all done, there is one final optional step that you could do, which is to go into your menu in your system, go to setup, come over here and go to vehicle and then into maintenance. And then there is a little section over here for brake pad. You see I've changed, when I did the service on this car, I updated details around oil and oil filter and so on. You can put in here the date and the distance for the next brake change, but I don't think you can do that based on time or distance. You can do that on miles and kind of how heavy you brake. So I'm not going to bother doing that, but it's an optional thing for you to do if you were so interested. So there we go, that's how to change your brake pads on your third generation Lexus IS. My car is an IS250, it's quite unusual in the UK, most people went for a 300h. If you've got one and this works for you, let me know, because I don't have a car to test it on, but I'm pretty confident it will be exactly the same. If you found this video helpful, let me know, send me a comment, hit that like, and I look forward to coming to you in a new video very soon. Thanks and goodbye.